What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here today, just me and Monty, and we've got a Q&A for you guys. We are trying a new format, filming a Q&A because this guy needs to eat and I'm alone because Steven is out of town again. Honestly, it's okay. Like, I'm figuring things out. I have a lot of help from family, but when like things get stressful and you're all alone, it's like really, really stressful. But he has some family stuff to get to in Florida, so here we are. So let's see how this goes. So I posted on our YouTube page, I'm like still kind of new with the terms, but I think that's it. But I posted on the community page, maybe that's what it's called, asking you guys if you had any questions about us postpartum. We are now, Monty's 3 months old. I know that was one of the questions, is how old is he now? So he's such a big boy. He's like, I don't even know, probably 14 or 15 pounds. He's a very loud eater and he's getting like so heavy I can barely hold him for long periods of time. It's crazy. He's such a big boy. But let's get to it. Let's see what you guys had to say. How is Monty sleeping? He's actually sleeping really well. He now is sleeping through the night, like 9 or 10 hours at a time. So at night he sleeps with his like full swaddle where his arms are tucked in. We've been trying to transition during the day to an arms out swaddle, which he is like not a fan of. It's hit or miss. Like some days are really great and he has like an hour and a half nap every time he naps. Some days it's like 20 minutes if we even get a nap. So he's definitely still like figuring it out, but we're getting there. And I think eventually he'll love having his arms out. He's like very much into self-soothing right now, sucking his thumb, kind of like figuring things out on his own. So I think within the next couple of days, he'll have it all figured out. But overall, he's sleeping great. Steven and I get to sleep pretty much through the night. I still wake up to pump in the middle of the night, but he's not waking up anymore to eat. Next question, have we traveled with the baby yet? We have not. We were going to, I was going to take him to Florida with us last time that Steven went, but some family stuff happened and it just wasn't the right first trip for us, especially being a 5-hour flight for his first flight and not really knowing what was gonna happen once we got there. So we ended up not going. So we have not really traveled anywhere with him. I'm looking forward to that because he's a pretty chill baby, but I say that now and then our first flight's gonna be a terror. So we'll see. We haven't traveled yet. Have your friends met the baby? I would say a good majority of them have. There's still a couple that we just like haven't been able to meet up with at this time, but yeah, for the most part, pretty much all of our friends have met the baby. All of our family members have met the baby. I refer to him as the baby all the time. He has a name. But yeah, pretty much everyone that like is close to us has met him so far. Obviously friends that are out of town haven't yet, but he's a pretty social guy. Burping intermission. When he was taking 4-ounce I wish you guys could see the little hands right now. They're just like crossed at his chest. When he was taking 4-ounce bottles, we didn't really have to burp him in between, but now that he's up to like 6-ounce bottles, this dude eats so much. I do burp him in between just because we've had he has reflux already. Like he has decent reflux, but now we've had 2 episodes where I think he's choking on his spit up. We're going to see the doctor tomorrow to figure out what it is, but he has this episode where he like kind of just like blanks out and he's clearly not breathing, and Steven and I figured out very fast how to handle that, you know, like flipping him over, hitting his back. Sometimes I'll like blow in his face if he's holding his breath, but like eventually he spits up and then he's breathing again. So I'm pretty sure it's like on its way up and then he chokes on it. But regardless, they're like absolutely terrifying events. I hate seeing him like that. It's only happened twice, but enough to traumatize me that I now like burp him every couple minutes. It just really freaks me out. I hope we don't get any negative comments about the whole like reflux choking thing, but for anyone who feels like they want to be negative about it, yes, we are feeding him in an upright position. I love that he holds onto the bottle. It's so cute. Yes, we are doing paste feeding. Yes, we burp him between ounces. Yes, we keep him up right after the bottle. Like he just has reflux, and unfortunately that's, I guess, just a part of it. I also kind of wonder if he could be teething early because he drools so much. His hands are always in his mouth and like his spit up is like a drool consistency. So I don't know. I'll update you guys when we see the doctor tomorrow. And that kind of leads us into another question that I saw that you guys asked is, I think it was like, did I expect to have postpartum anxiety, or how am I doing with postpartum anxiety? I wouldn't say I expected to have it. I have, and I don't know if I've talked about this before on the channel, but I've always had an anxiety disorder. Since I was in maybe like 8th grade, I remember is when I started to notice it. And I think at that point I was diagnosed with like panic disorder, where I don't really know why, but I just have anxiety attacks. Like there's nothing that really causes it. I just all of a sudden my heart's racing and then I get like tunnel vision. Sometimes I pass out, but over time it's kind of morphed into just like generalized anxiety disorder. So I've always had anxiety. I didn't expect it to be this bad postpartum. Definitely something that I still struggle with. It's even like hard for me to talk about without getting upset. So I probably won't divulge too much into it at this time, but like I never expected it to be this bad. It's hard for me to leave the house with him, especially when I know either I can't predict what's gonna happen, like if it's during a feeding time or during a nap time, or if I know it's gonna be like a really long outing. It gives me a lot of anxiety. So I'm having a lot of trouble with that, and then especially with the reflux and the recent 2 episodes of choking, I just like, it's not getting better, so I probably will have to do intervention. I don't really want to start a medication now just because I'm still giving him breast milk, but eventually once we switch to formula, that will probably be what I do. I don't know, we'll see when we get there. But thank you for checking in. Postpartum anxiety is still rough, and no, I did not expect it to be this bad. You are going ham, dude. All right, burping intermission number 2. How is Scout dealing with the baby? He is so jealous. Like, I swear it gets more and more jealous, and he's never like aggressive. Scout is the most gentle dog I've ever met. Like, he is so sweet. He more so wants mine and Steven's attention. So like if we're cooing at the baby or we're shaking a toy, like Scout will come and kind of like step in front of him to get to us. So he's definitely not used to not being an only child anymore, but I think once the baby is having solid foods and is feeding Scout, they'll be best friends. Another question I saw was, does Steven like being a dad? I think Steven loves Mac, and I think he loves being a dad. I tell Steven this so often, but I am so impressed with Steven and how he's grown into the role of being a father. Like, he is so patient with Mac. He'll have like a headache or he'll be tired. He's been out working all day, and he'll still come home and like sit here and rock him to sleep or feed him even though he's exhausted and wants to go to bed. Like, he has become such a great father. He spends so much time with Mac, and even times where I'm like, I can hear Mac crying and I'm like, whoa, does Steven want to tap out? Like, sometimes it gets intense. He's such a good dad, and he's such a good husband. He's so helpful. Like, I'm very blessed, and I'm very lucky with how much support I have. So, someone asked about Steven's real estate content. If you want to see his real estate content, why am I saying it like that? Content? Why does it sound weird? You can go watch that at Flipping Fortunes is their new channel. He also touches on it sometimes on TikTok or Instagram, so check those places out as well. But I think that's it for our Q&A. So thank you guys for sticking around. I hope that Mac's squeaky eating wasn't too loud for the whole video, and we love you guys. Bye.